Hello and a very warm welcome to you. I'm Hayley Palmer. It's really good to have you here with me on the show this evening, especially as we are joined by entertainer Brain Conley. And here is what happened when I caught up with him. Brain Conley, it's great to have you on the show. How are you?
I am delighted to be here. It really is truly an honour. I've been watching the show. I find you extremely wonderful, but I just don't know how you get into that wonderful big studio.
I know, it's the magic of Tully. We won't tell anyone at home. It's top secret, Brian. But we've gone there already. But it's a pleasure to have you here on At Home With Hayley. I've got to say, I've been watching your Instagram stories, and you've been doing some kind of singing in the shower, haven't you? Which has been very entertaining.
Yes, I am fully clothed, I would like to point out.
Just to point that out.
Yeah, but yes, I am. I'm singing in the shower, and I just thought I'd lighten up the mode. How about the mood? The mode is actually the French way of saying mood. So I've been lightening up the mood and singing a few songs and doing a bit of comedy along the way. There's so much doom and gloom out there, so for me to just sort of lighten the moment is good, and just living in the mood.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we need at the moment. So, yes, we need some cheering up. And speaking of cheering up, your first song choice, Mr. Blue Sky, ELO. Why this song, Brian?
Because you cannot fail to have a big grin on your face when you're hearing this song, because it is just that beat at the beginning. I mean, my God, it's probably nearly 40 years old, that song, and it's just incredible. I love it. And whenever I'm on a plane going on my hollandaise, I put that on extremely loud, because I'm not the best flyer in the world, just as it's taking off, and that gin, 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 gin. You know, so it's a bit of therapy for me. Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky. It's just a great track.
Yeah, we love this song. Great track to kick off with. But it's from 1978. And Brian and I are going to see you after this. Enjoy. Mr. Blue Sky. Brian, how much on a scale of 1 to 10 do you love that song?
Oh, it's 10, without a doubt. It's just the most incredible song ever. And I'm a big fan of them. And way, way back, I actually saw them live. I was only about 13, and they opened the show with a great big spaceship, just like the album, and the spaceship lifted up, and they were the stage. Huge set, and they didn't want anyone, when the tour finished, they didn't want anyone else to have this set or to use it, so they took it out into the ocean and they sunk it. Isn't that an incredible bit of trivia? So they thought, well, no one's going to have that.
Some fun facts today.
You know what I mean? But anyway, go on, hit me. What do you want to know?
I want to know about when you were a blue coat, because I always wanted to be a red coat when I was at school, and my job advisor said, no, you can't do that. You need a proper job. But that was the dream, Brian.
Well, it was a dream for me many years ago. There is a sort of a newspaper that the trade use, and it's called The Stage, and there was a little advert in there. And I was 17. You've got to be 18, but I lied about my age. And the head of the whole company at Pontins, who was, there was a guy doing the auditions, and then she said, look, you go to lunch and I'll do this next hour. And I wandered in that hour, and she knew that I was younger, but because she was the only one that could make these decisions, she said, yeah, no, we want you, and we want you to go to a place called Barton Hall. And Barton Hall in Devon was the flagship of Pontins.
Yeah.
And when I got there, they said, you have to work at Pontins for 5 years before you get in to be a blue coat here. But it was just sheer luck, because I was in that audition, and she knew that I had something at the time. And many years later, I did meet her, and I said, did you know I was 17? She went, yeah, we knew.
Oh, but she likes you.
Yeah, but I've done quite a few things over my illustrious career, and I've won many awards and starred in many West End shows, but people will always go, so,
you
used to be a blue coat. And I go, yes, about 40 years ago for 3 months. And it always makes me laugh.
Because I just love that. Yeah, I know. People always remember the blue coats and the red coats. But for me, that was a great childhood memory when I'd go on holiday and you'd see the blue coats and you think they were just fantastic.
Yeah. And I think what's happened there is, of course, we used to do a show every night. We had 14 different 2-hour shows. That, of course, that's how long the guests would be there. So it was loads to do. And we had a small theatre there, so I got to work that.
Yeah.
But that is so not the case now. You maybe do one show a week. And I always say there's not many places you can be rubbish and learn your craft. And, of course, being a blue coat was that. And so for me, I embraced it. It made me what I am.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, we're going to go into your next song choice, Brian. At Level 42, Something About You. Apparently, this is voted one of the best pop songs of all time.
It wouldn't surprise me. It's very much from my era. I used to remember I had my XR3. You wouldn't even know what that is. My little car.
Yes, I do.
Put the cassette in. Hear Mark King play that bass. Yeah. I'm a huge fan. There's not many people I actually follow on Twitter and Instagram, but Level 42 are. And I had a choice many years ago when I had my own show, and they said, right, this week's guest, you can either have Diana Ross or Level 42. And I went, oh, no, I've got to have Level 42. So as far as I'm concerned, a Level 42 are God. There's also another song called Mr. Pink, where Mark King absolutely freaks out. If you ever get a chance to listen to that live, I would recommend it. But yeah, Something About You, Baby.
Yeah, we're going to sing full blast here in the studio from 1985. Enjoy it, Brian. I will see you in a minute. Now, Brian, I want to talk to you about some of your stage work, because I've seen you in Hairspray, 9 to 5, and I often go to the Mayflower Theatre. I've seen you in the Pantos. You've had us all in stitches. I mean, is it that buzz that you get from musical theatre? Is that what really gives you that kind of drive?
I think it's just being on stage. It's just a very special place to be when you're standing there. It's better than any drug. Hearing a crowd, a big group of people, like whether it be like Mayflower, which is probably about 1,200 people. Yeah, it's a big stage. All laughing. Yeah, all laughing all at the same time. It really is the biggest buzz. You can be in your kitchen and make 6 people laugh and you go, yeah, that was good. But you imagine when you're making 1,000, you cannot get enough of that. And so for me, being live on stage, there is a danger there as well, which I enjoy, and an immediacy. And what is wonderful about being on stage is you really are in the moment. You're not worried, and the audience are. They're not on their phones. They're watching the show. They're all engaged, and it's a very different world now. And to have that moment in time where the kids aren't upstairs, mum's not in the kitchen, and dad's not on his phone in the lounge, it's powerful. And people do go home going, as a family, we did talk about something. We didn't go, oh, you was on Netflix, you was on YouTube. So it's wonderful, and I think it will. People go, well, it's a different era now. No, people will always want live. Yeah,
I think so. And even in lockdown, I think it kind of highlights that even more. For me personally, and I'm sure I can speak for people at home, we love that escape. You go and see, you in a musical, in a panto, and you just laugh and you cry, and it just makes you forget about the whole world. And I think that is really what we're missing at the moment.
I totally agree. It's, when in the Second World War, they were dropping bombs in London and the shows were still going on. But this is a very different world now. And of course, we have to sort of back off and let this virus take its course. But, the fortunate thing is, we've got hopefully more and more people will have the vaccination. But no, we all miss it. As entertainers, we all miss it because it is.
Yeah, because you were in the Christmas Carol, weren't you, at the Dominion?
Yes.
Just before
at
Christmas.
The end of when we said we had to finish, they had to box office and they had to contact many people and they had to give back £2 million.
Wow.
Because that was how many people have booked to see it, even with social distancing. And at the Dominion, it holds 2,300. So we were allowed 1,000 people in. But it was very special. And as a performer, it was really special because of the lead up to it. Although we were only done 11 shows, we still had about 6 weeks of rehearsals. Yeah. And to have that and to be creative in those moments was wonderful and a complete lifesaver. So, and I really appreciate how lucky I am because there's so many people that would die to be on that stage right now.
Yeah, you'll treasure those moments. Well, we're going to play out a song from Hairspray. How was that when you were in Hairspray? Wearing the heels and the suit, was that hard work?
it was very different, and I think the first night was the most nervous I had ever been, because I thought, Brian, you can't fall back on anything here. You are a huge woman, and you've got to remember that. And I remember him saying, in the early days, the best thing they said to me, he said, you got to remember, you are a mother. You know, you're not just a bloke dressed up as a woman. No, you're a mother to Tracy Turnblad. And I used to talk like that. And Tracy to Lola Turnblad, you get back up here. I got hampers of laundry and my diet pill is wearing off. But it was great, but I kept forgetting how big I was. It was a scene right at the beginning on the very first night, and I'm behind the ironing board, and then I have to walk around and turn the very old-fashioned TV off. And I forgot how big I was, and I knocked the ironing board, the telly, everything went flying, because I forgot my bottom was enormous, and I forgot that. But yeah,
I feel like I've got that problem in lockdown, Brian.
But it's a great show. It's a great uplifting show, and
Yes.
it tells a wonderful story on so many levels. And I was so honoured to be part of it. That was at the Hairspray. I took over from Michael Ball.
Yes, that's
and
right.
to spend over a year in that show was great.
How fabulous. So we're going to play out the ladies' choice. We want everyone dancing and singing at home. Everyone on your feet. And Brian and I will see you after.
Hey, little girl with the cash to burn.
Now, Brian, I want to look back at the good old days of the Brain Conley show. I can remember sitting down with my parents and we'd all just sit there and watch it and just laugh. And I feel like we need to bring back that kind of level of entertainment on our tellies, don't we?
Yes, of course. I think we do get it with Ant and Dec. I do feel that Strictly is a huge variety show. I think they dress it up differently now. But yeah, that escapism. And what is variety? It's when, you put together a lot of different moments. So, the word variety is sort of like, it's like a swear word now. It's not a variety show. But it is. It has a variety of performers and variety of things on it. But yeah, I think they do. But I think it's gone, that era. I don't think there are many variety stars. I myself have had to diversify and do the West End and various other things to sort of sustain my career. But I do feel that side of it, you might get the odd holiday camp that will put on a variety show. But even summer seasons, although that could change this year because a lot of people are obviously wanting to go to...
I like a good old variety show.
You can't beat it. Can't beat a good laugh.
It's just brilliant. And talking of Strictly, you were on Strictly. My favourite bit ever was when you went into jazz splits. That's a skill. And you did a bit of a moonwalk. I think this was all in the cha-cha.
I know. I'll just have a laugh. I knew I was never going to win it. In fact, I got more points on my driving licence than I did in that show. But it was a wonderful experience and the best known laxative in show business. When doing that show, you're standing there and the nation is watching and it's live, and we were getting like 12 million people.
Yeah.
And you just know that it's in the lap of the gods. Sometimes I would do this particular dance routine, whatever one it was, and do it well. And then other times it would fall apart. And so you're standing going, don't let this one be the one where it falls apart. And and of course I know you've got Anton Dbeck on the show.
We have.
And he's a legend. He should be hosting it. Let Anton Dbeck host the, Strictly.
Let him.
Yeah, it is great though. And what an experience. And I kept saying to my wonderful dance partner, Amy Dowden, she goes, come on,
lovely.
I know, come on, we've got to do this bit again, in rehearsals. I go, Amy, I am a lot older than you. She said, Brian, it's only a number. I said, yeah, but it's a big number. It's 30 years.
You did really well, Brian. And your brother's the floor manager, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's been there right from the beginning. He also does Ant and Dec's show, Graham Norton. He's probably the number one floor manager for any of those sort of shows, light entertainment shows. And we're very proud of him. He's about 13 years younger than me. And whenever you see the credits go up, just look out for Alan Conley. And
we're going to look out for him.
Yeah.
We like that. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, we're going to go into your next song choice. Of course, we've got to have a bit of Elvis, haven't we?
Elvis Presley, King of Rock and Roll. I love Elvis. Elvis is one of the reasons I want to do this. I remember watching when he done live in Vegas, and you saw the cameras following him to the stage, and the audience going potty. I go, I want to do this. And when I was in a band, I used to be in a band after I finished being a Blue Coat. We used to do a little Elvis song, and I used to sing a bit of Elvis. I just can't help believing. Oh, he was brilliant. And it just such a sexy man. And he just looked the business. Obviously, at the end, no, he looked more like Edna out of Hairspray. But in those early days, and he's 67, I believe, the special when he's in the leather. And you think, oh, my God. And what an amazing talent, and very much moulded and, the rock and roll era.
Yeah, well, we've seen you do this on your shower Instagrams. I think we saw you sing, which one was it you sang on there?
Now, what happened, everyone kept thinking I was miming, and I wasn't. I used my daughter's sort of stuff because she loved singing. So she goes, Dad, you got to put this in, you got to do it through your headphone. And so everyone was like, no, he's miming. I go, no, I didn't. No. And then, of course, there you go. That was me sort of harping back to in my early life and career where I used to do a bit of Elvis. So, yeah, I was very much influenced by him. And I'm looking forward to the song, Hayley.
Yes, we're going to play out Suspicious Minds, and we will see you soon.
We're caught in a trap.
Now, I'm really excited about this news when I found out you're going to be in EastEnders.
I know. I was excited. I'm pleased that the secret's out. Yes, I'm pregnant. I can't believe it. Look, we're in lockdown. I really am probably one of the luckiest people in the world. The fact that I done a show over Christmas, yes, it was only 11 shows, but I mean, that was wonderful. And now, and I knew before Christmas, actually, they approached me and said, I actually thought it was just a Zoom. So the producers and the casting director said, we want to talk to you. And I went, yeah. And I was still doing Scrooge at the Dominion. And they went, so this is the character. And it probably starts about March. And we'd love you to be in it for a year. And I went, what? So you're offering me that? Oh, yeah. And they went, yeah. Wow. So I didn't even have to read for it or anything. I mean, obviously,
they just loved you.
Yeah, I got some good reviews for London when I was in there. And of course, they're aware that I have done some acting pieces. But he's a cheeky Cockney lad, so it's a bit of a strain. And, he's always got a little funny line to say and things like that. And I do know where they're coming from. And it's very much, look, where we're coming from right now with COVID and everything, they just want to lighten it up a bit and not be so doom and gloom. The shows are only 20 minutes long now at the moment. There's 3 a week, so you're still very busy doing that. And I am Terry Cant, and I am Sonia's dad. And that is quite amazing because she's been in that show.
Really is.
She's now in her 30s. Yeah, she's got 2 kids in real life. And in the show, she started when she was 9. And I know I'm going to be in good hands. So she'll be able to guide me. She has rung me and said how pleased she is. And we do know each other. And I know, how chuffed she is. And I am, because I know she'll be able to hold my hand and guide me through it in those early days. So
I wonder what storylines they give you.
I know. I do know my story. I know quite a lot, obviously, now. Yeah. And it's a very weird position. I've never been in this where I'm not allowed to say anything. They said, no, you can just tell them your name and tell them that you're Sonia's dad, and that is it. So
you're learning your scripts at the moment.
Yeah. And I've got a really good nickname, which I'm always referred to. Once after the first probably scene, I explained to them that no, I don't like being called Terry. I like this is my name, and I explain why my name is this. And so that I know that'll latch on. It really made me smile when they told me. And yes, I do know a lot of the plot now. I know quite a lot. So I have to know where I'm coming from and the games I'm playing and why I'm there. So, so it's really exciting. And,
that is something for us to look forward to, isn't it? And when can we expect you on our screens?
It's up in the air. Because of COVID, they are
Watch
changing
this space.
it.
Yeah.
But I would say maybe I start filming very shortly and it don't come out till the May because they're always about 2 months ahead. So yeah, they actually film. I didn't know this. They film Christmas in September.
No.
I know. So you look at it and see all the snow on the floor and all this, and you go, no, actually, it's December. It's September. So sometimes you can have a nice sunny day, and they've all got a big coat on and all this stuff because they want to pretend it's Christmas.
Wow, no, I didn't know that. See, we're learning a lot here with Brain Conley on the show. And then we're going to go into your next song choice, My Funny Valentine, which I know has a really special meaning to you, doesn't it?
It does, of course. My wife is born on Valentine's Day,
yes.
Anne-Marie, and we are celebrating this year our 25th wedding anniversary. But we knew each other. Thank you. We knew each other for 6 years before then. So we've known each other 31 years, and I have to say, in this game, that's pretty unprecedented. You know,
it really is.
I know, because people, you know, they don't last that long. But it's always been team. We complement each other in so many ways. She's actually quite shy, my wife. So of course I'm the big loud one.
Yeah.
And then there's many things she does. You know, we help each other during this.
Yeah, it works
journey.
well.
So the fact that she's born on Valentine's Day, of course. This has always been our song, and I just love it. It's a very romantic song, and it reminds me of my Mrs. Anne-Marie.
Well, this one is for Anne-Marie, and we will see you after this.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? But don't change a hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
Song choice, go.
Well, my next song choice has to be Sweet Caroline, because it's brilliant, it's uplifting, and I love Neil Diamond. Go on, play it. Hayley, yes. Sweet Caroline, yes. Please, for me.
Sweet Caroline.
Now, Brian, your last song choice, The Beatles, Hey Jude. What a song.
It is, and it has the best riff in the world. You know, that da, 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 da. So when I do my act, you know, I might be doing the theatre tour or something, that's my playoff music. I had that da, 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 da. It's just, amazing song. The Beatles were, you know, the greatest, and still are, you know, such wonderful, because every one, you know, there's not one there you go, I mean, yeah, all right, there's a few, but generally pretty much everything there. So, Hey Jude, yeah, brilliant song. I can't wait to hear it.
Yes, we can't either hear. Well, Brian, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show. You made us laugh and brilliant song choices, and we are so excited to see you in EastEnders.
Well, thank you, Hayley. I think you should be in it as well. I think you'd be very good working behind the Vic. I can see it now. I'm gonna put a good word in for you.
See, it's who you know, and Brian knows me.
Absolutely. But no, I'm delighted. I promise I'll give everyone a wave, and I really appreciate being on the show and being able to tell you all that I'm doing EastEnders. But I do love the show, Hayley, and I think you're very warm and very good at what you do. Even though, let's be honest, you're not in a studio, you're just in a lounge with a bit of green screen.
Brian, you're in big trouble now.
But you're brilliant, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you personally one day. You too, Brian. Well, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for cheering us up in these times. We really, truly do appreciate it. It's Brain Conley, everyone, not Connolly. Thank you. Just wonderful to have the brilliant Brain Conley with us on the show this evening. Now we're going to leave you with that last song choice, Hey Jude, from the Beatles. And I will see you same time, same place next week. I'm Hayley Palmer. Stay safe, and I will see you then.